Hi, I'm Mark Johnson, president of MD Johnson Inc., a mergers and acquisitions firm specializing in automobile dealerships. We thought it would be a good idea to put together some facts and separate some facts from fiction regarding Volkswagen, given the issues that they've had with masking their emissions to defeat the EPA's guidelines for small diesel engines, which make up a significant portion of Volkswagen and to a lesser degree Audi's engine offerings. There's been a significant amount of information, disinformation in the news. So just to give you a factual background of Volkswagen in 2014, Volkswagen employed 593,000 people worldwide. They sold 10,217,000 new vehicles compared to the U.S. SAR of about 16.5 million or 16 million or so. They did $202 billion of sales and made $15 billion, or about 7% net on sales, which is about twice the amount of the average automobile dealer in the United States. So suffice it to say that Volkswagen is a very large, very profitable, very old, very well-known automobile manufacturer. They own many brands. They have a very large finance company. So in reviewing the information that has been printed in different publications about Volkswagen, I think people should be mindful of the fact that no one has died in a Volkswagen emissions accident, unlike other manufacturers that have had issues with floor mats, issues with rollover. Ford Motor Company spent $3 billion paying for and fighting with Bridgestone before they determined that they had belt separation, and it wasn't the Ford Explorer's problem. 250 people lost their lives. Numerous people lost their lives with the GM ignition switch. Auto manufacturers have, for many years, used math to determine their morality, unfortunately. And in this particular case, Volkswagen their original savings was about 300 euros per car. Currently, the urea tank and the associated catalytic converter would probably run around 1,200 euros. We figure it will cost between $1,500 and $1,700 per car for a recall. We expect the fines to be limited. We expect it to be expensive for Volkswagen to recall these cars, but if you were to apply mathematics to the money that Volkswagen saved when not putting this emission equipment on their vehicles, we figure with the time value of money, Volkswagen probably accumulated somewhere around $15 billion US dollars in today's dollars by not installing the emissions on these cars. Clearly, it was not the right decision, but it certainly isn't going to be catastrophic, as the naysayers read in different news magazines and different websites. So the short and long of this, Volkswagen's reputation certainly has been tainted. I think that the American public dislikes cheating by a car company more than the accidental deaths, not understanding that when you intentionally do something and people die, it's the same as cheating. They're intentional deaths. This was an intentional issue with Mother Nature more than the deaths of people who were caught up in unintended acceleration, and a myriad of other things that occurred. Most people don't know that Lee Iacocca worked for Ford Motor Company when the airbag was going to first be installed in vehicles. And as I remember, it was going to be about $175 per car to install the airbag, and Lee Iacocca felt that it would be cheaper to pay wrongful death lawsuits than to spend $175 on a car. And last I looked, that it didn't affect Ford Motor Company that much, that they selected not to put airbags in vehicles, or the 250 people that died in the rollover deaths, with Firestone. So Firestone is still in business, Ford is still in business. I expect that Volkswagen will still be in business. So in the M&A world, what does that mean for Volkswagen? Clearly in the short term, dealers and acquirers will be wondering what to do when it comes to their Volkswagen dealership. Should we buy? Should we sell? Certainly there will be a lot of service work recalling these vehicles. There's about 500,000 of these vehicles in the United States that will be recalled. We do not expect the car to be decertified. If it were to be decertified, that means you wouldn't be able to drive it anymore. It would have to sit. You wouldn't be able to buy a license for the car. We don't expect that. We think the recall will take about 3 years. They have to build 500,000 catalytic converters, urea tanks. They've got to get them installed. So it'll be a significant undertaking. Audi has about 16,000 vehicles in the U.S. that they're exposed to. Audi has instructed their dealers to buy the cars back, do whatever is necessary to keep the customer happy. Clearly, Volkswagen's not in a place to do that for 500,000 cars, but Volkswagen has every intention of making this right. Who knows who was responsible? I'm not sure it really matters anymore. Given the value of dealerships and how difficult it is to buy dealerships, it couldn't be a better time for an auto dealer, who was thinking about selling. You've got a nearly 17 million SAR. So this would not have been a very good recall in 2010 or 11 in the depths of the recession. This probably would have been very painful when the SAR numbers were lower, profits were lower. Volkswagen dealers have systemically had a problem with margin in the cars, but great product. So I think this will be a very short-term issue for Volkswagen dealers to deal with. I think Volkswagen will step up, support their dealers financially. There are about 600 dealers in the United States. They probably account for a great deal of Volkswagen's overall profitability, and Volkswagen's proved to be a good partner to their dealers. So I would assume that they'll do the right thing for customers, they'll do the right thing for their dealers, they'll do the right thing for the economy, their economy, they'll do the right thing for the EPA. It's just, it's just another business decision that they made, and they'll now have to pay for their business decision. But I think it's a blip on the radar when it comes to the value of stores. It's a blip in the radar when it comes to, Volkswagen as a company. I think a lot of people felt that, Toyota couldn't survive the unintended acceleration, the floor mat issue. Toyota spent about $11 billion to fix that, pay for however they managed their way out of it, which is not a lot of money to Toyota. It's a lot of money, not a lot of money to Toyota, and Volkswagen's nearly the size of Toyota, so their capacity to come through this is pretty significant. So my opinion is this will be short-lived, be very good for dealers and their service departments. Customers will get taken care of, and Volkswagen will come out with some great new lease product, and there'll be another issue with another car manufacturer in the news, and people will forget. Ford just announced a 383,000 car recall, and with the sort of recall that they have, axles on cars can cause accidents, and too much emissions out of a diesel motor, last I look, has not caused any automobile accidents except maybe from diesel smoke. So people should be mindful of how long Volkswagen's been around, how many customers drive Volkswagens, the institutional memory that people have of the Volkswagen Bug, the Vanagon, the Camper, the Rabbit, their diesels, exceeding 50 miles per gallon. This is a company that's well run. All companies have executives come and go, but Volkswagen, is a vaunted company throughout the world with many brands that they own. And it's my opinion, when our firm advises our clients to be cautious, to see what the recall will bring, the timing, but I also am informing our clients and giving them some tips that, a lot of times in these sorts of issues occur with the manufacturer, can create significant windfall. If we look at the ignition, if we look at Toyota, we look at all the recalls, they have accounted for a lot of service growth, and this will be a big boost to Volkswagen dealers, not only in the sales arm, and as auto dealers, we're trained that these sorts of issues create opportunity for us to prove to customers how good we are at what we do, and it gives us an opportunity to interface at a different level. So smart dealers are saying, look, let's be calm about this and find out how this is going to go. It certainly isn't going to cripple Volkswagen. It's going to cripple their reputation. But smart dealers are saying, look, if the average dealership is 6, 7, 8 times earnings, and Volkswagen has got 600 plus dealers and all these units in operation, there may be a big opportunity here to buy at Volkswagen store at a discount and reap the windfall of what's going to go through the service department. People still love this diesel. I doubt that the diesel fix is going to create a very sluggish, very low powered, low mileage car when this is all said and done. I think that there's a lot more of the story. So I would certainly look at Volkswagen as an opportunity for an auto dealer who's looking to grow their business, not as some sort of asset to dispose of. This company's been around a long time. They're going to be around for a long time.